I want you to understand the psychology behind what we are doing. We need to understand our responsibility to our families, our responsibility to our society, the society where we live. It's not just about prayer, it's about giving direction. And if we are not masters at what we are doing, we you cannot lead somebody through something that you have never been to. That's why I'm not the one teaching this part. Are you following me? If I was to teach you about starting a church, I'll be an expert at it. At least I have experience. But I cannot teach you about engaging in business, in enterprise, constructively, and having the necessary um, mindset that positions you for success if I'm not actively involved in it. And in the past, how many weeks? About almost 1 month now, right? Yes, we have carefully followed the order. Yesterday, I think it was the day before yesterday, somebody in Umaya said to extend his regard to you for the teachings you are doing. And it shows that we're not just, what is happening here is not just for us, but we are positioning ourselves as a church, collectively and individually, to do God's bidding on the earth. The only way we can see God is through the people that God is working by. And if we are not successful at our businesses, there's no way you can tell anybody that God is a success. You have to show evidence. You say your God is successful. How? You start to tell him about Abraham, how Abraham was successful. Abraham was successful because he applied certain principles. And it was evident. Isaac was successful. Jacob was successful. Praise God. Joseph was successful. He couldn't hide. For him to be suggested to um, represent the country or minister to the country as an official at any level. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were successful businessmen and politicians. Praise God. So this morning, I'd like you to welcome and open your heart to receive this instruction. I hope that you have done. There was an assignment given at the beginning that if you will write a proposal, that you'll be guided through. I don't know how many of you took that seriously, but if this is done and you have not gained anything in this past 1 month, you wasted your time. Let's welcome with Jesus' joy our very own Pastor Mecca Osbert.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to us all. Good morning, sir, Pastor. How are we doing today? You know, when Pastor said somebody, no Maya, told him that, say hi to him that I'm doing well, in my mind, I was like, ah. So I'll be careful what I say. I don't know who's hearing what I'm. Okay, so uh, quickly, Proverbs 22, verse 3. Proverbs 22, 3. It says, a prudent person sees trouble coming and ducks. A simpleton walks in blindly and is okay. My scripture says goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. So what we are doing here is very serious. Even myself, when pastor said I should take on this thing, the truth is that I didn't know what pastor meant or how to even go about it. But I made a vow with myself. Anything I'm asked to do, it has got to do with the work of God. Whether I know it, I don't know it, I'll do it. The one I don't know, I'll learn while I'm doing it. So I took on it. And even as I'm going through it, I'm discovering that I'm even helping myself. Hallelujah. Let's participate in this thing and be prepared in advance because we don't know what tomorrow holds. The assignment we had said to ourselves, only one person did it, Pastor, only Oyiye, only Chinoye, sorry. So last week we okay, where we let me quickly do a rundown where what we have talked about. We have talked about first and foremost, we talked about understanding our business environment. We talked about identifying business opportunities. We talked about positioning our businesses for success. We also talked about, lastly, we talked about the background work that we should do before the bidding. Don't forget that this part of this module is how to bid. We have learned how to write our business proposals. We have learned how to package our company profile. And now we are in the labor market trying to use what we have learned, how to apply it. So we're talking about smart tips for bidding. Smart tips, smart bidding tips. That's where we are. Sometime last week, if you remember when we're talking about both writing business proposal and when we got to the point of bidding, the song we talked about when you are in an environment, you should keep your ears and your eyes open. Who remembers that? Sometime last week, I was somewhere, and I discovered they were having a big challenge with diesel supply in that place. And not that they have challenge with diesel supply. There are a couple of documents that they bring for tenders for public procurement insists that you will have for you to supply diesel, and part of them is what they call the DPR, the DPR license. So while they were talking about it, I quickly put up my phone, went to WhatsApp to my contact. We have a business community. Began to find out. In less than 5 minutes, I got somebody who had a DPR, and I stepped out and I called the person. And in 5 minutes, I had access to that DPR, and I came back and I offered the DPR, not diesel first. I offered, okay, I can help, I can give you documents to do this. You first agree. Once you accept the document, then of course you can't use it's like in law. I come and use your document. I need your that people stamp. You know that is being prepared. So even as I talk now, they are beginning to prepare the first voucher. I don't know how much yet, but they are preparing that first voucher. When it comes out, whatever comes to me, I've made something. Let's all be alert. Let's take this seriously. Whatever it is that we are doing, the truth is that we can launch big time from here. So I said, when you're bidding, we said focus on capacity. Is my slide still there with you? Said focus. This slide 9. Said focus on your capacity. Concentrate on bids that match your company's capacity and strengths. Avoid to chase every available bid. Waste of time. Waste of time. To bid for a job, especially if you're bidding the way I want to teach right now, and okay, let's go offline just very briefly. Just mute it briefly. Have you? You know, There's no need. One is that the chances that you will get those big jobs is 0 to 10. You won't get it. It's not possible. Two, those jobs, they will tell you that your tax must have, they'll set a target for your minimum annual turnover. Sometimes they tell you 200, 300 million and above. You don't even have it. So why waste your time? Just go for the ones that match your capacity. Both the competencies you've been able to package in that document, both the funding you know that not only for you to access, the funding that you know that if it comes to you, you can take care of. You know, some of us here, if you are given just 3 million naira, 1 million naira, just 1 million naira, it will waste. You can't manage it. I'm saying it because it has happened to me. When it comes, you think you have plenty of money. The first thing you do, you go and buy one new shirt, or you buy one new shoe, or you do one thing. The moment you remove 50,000 naira alone, if you don't have a million naira again, that is the truth. And sometimes the profit margin are very slim. So before you know it, you are some years ago, we used to do MTN business. One box of 1.5 then, if I recall very well, was about over 700,000 naira or so. And then the profit was so what that meant then was that in one box of brick, if you lose one card, just one, you're already at a loss. That's what happens. So look for the monies that match your profile, match you yourself, where you are right now. You know, and Pastor said to us on Sunday, said, and then gradually you begin to grow. You know, track deadlines also very diligently. You know, maintain a tracking system for deadlines to ensure that you timely submit your bids. I talked about it briefly. I said when you see bids, sometimes the advertisements they'll give you 1 week, sometimes they'll give you 2 weeks, 2 weeks note timeline to submit it. And I said the best thing for you to do is to create a portfolio where you have these documents ready, like templates. So when those things come, you quickly go there and bring it, and then you tweak it to suit the bid you're going for and submit it. Because most times, the people who are going to bid for these jobs in the Nigerian way, people who supposedly own these jobs, they already know when the adverts are coming out, they are waiting. So if it comes out today, because on Monday, by Tuesday, they are already submitting. You need to track those deadlines, track them so you know that you submit your bid on time. Follow instructions, adhere closely to all instructions provided in the tender document to avoid disqualification or mistakes in the bidding process. When you get your bidding document, the advert, go through it. Check the various adverts where it comes out from. Ask them. They come out in dailies, they come out in their websites, they might come out also in their procurement department. If they give documents in those departments, follow those departments. Because the one that they've taken to paper, there can be an error there. And that error, you know how this country is now. The one that they have in the office is what they are holding on to. So follow it. Whatever it says, do it. Don't assume that I know somebody who knows this thing who has told me how to do it. Don't assume that I've been on this thing for many years, so I know the drill. Don't assume anything. Follow it. Pay attention to even punctuations. See this comma, full stop. Pay attention to it. One apostrophe removed can give a whole different meaning to a sentence. So pay attention to it. And these things are technical elimination process that they um, they put in the process to help what they are doing. So it's not fraud. It's part of what helps what they are doing. So pay attention to it. Organize your documents. Keep all documents that are necessary, well organized and ready to ensure a smooth and efficient bidding process without any delays. So in your bidding document you're submitting, the first page, one should be in your letterhead, stating what you're bidding for. Then listing the documents that you have provided in that document. Number them. Number them. Also go to the instructions and list, because they will also list the documents that pre-qualify you. Do you get this? Person eligible to bid. If you see the order at which they list those documents, ensure that provide it, but also ensure that when you're listing what you provided, that you mirror exactly following the same order that it came. If you say CAC number 1, TCC number 2, don't bring TCC before CAC. Make sure it's CAC and TCC and follow the order that you see in the advert. You come to your profile, have a separate sheet, blank sheet. In that one, capture the CAC. You turn over. The next page is the CAC. You turn it. The next page, you have CAC. You turn it, you put the CAC. Do you understand? That's one way. The first page, after you've numbered what you need, the first page, you can write, most come with CAC and go down, you know. So the first page, the subtitle, one page bold, in one page alone is CAC. That means the section under it is CAC. When you're done with that section, you again, the blank document, you put the subsection of what you're going into. They all follow behind. That's one way. The other way, there are these papers that come as they are color papers. You know, this is the way they come. I don't know what they call them. It's this way, you know, and then at the edge, it has colors that comes out, doesn't paper. You know, different colors. You can also use those kind of documents. Yes, to help you choose. Then when you come to your content, that's first letter. When you write CAC, you put an iPhone, you put red, green. You know, so when they want CAC, they'll simply go to red and open red. They see what you want. Why this is important? Sometimes when you are involved in highly competitive bidding, there are many persons there. There are many interests there. You know, and in that hall, the people who they have worked behind the scene to give these jobs to are there. So most times they find people like us who always get crash and your documents are intact. So they are looking out for any slightest thing to take you to any error to take you out. So if they can't even find the document on time, they will take you out. Sometimes also, when the hall is too much, what they will do is that they will mark attendance, they will call names, and when they are done, you will go. Everybody will go, and they on their own will now do this process and then invite people. When you're doing your document, always make sure that you keep a tracking copy for yourself. You know, when you're going to submit documents, you know, there's always what we call the acknowledgement page. Always make sure you keep your own document. So when you're submitting the document, they should sign and stamp received in one for you. So when they go back and submit the names and you don't come out, take that one that they and go and show them this is what it is. So since you can't find that one, let's look at this one together. The moment they've signed it, and make sure is numbered. Number every page. So they can't pull your page out. Even if they pull your page out and put a second page, chances are they will forget to number it. Chances are they would forget to go and make sure that they use the same font for the numbering. You know, these are things you you'll be mindful of. It looks like it's nothing, but it's when you are there, you find out that it's very technical, it's everything. Does it make sense? So now we have learned how to bid. We have we have been taught about how to study and understand the bidding documents, both the advertorial, both the bill of quantities itself. Bill of quantities that is a spreadsheet, a self form that captures all the task that you do and the measurement, and you've studied those things. I've told you also that there are standard amounts for everything that we do. So make sure that you stay within those standard price intelligence figures. Don't go beyond it, because at times they come down to check those things. So the next thing we'll talk about is, as we are growing in our business and looking for jobs to do, start small, but think long term. Everybody that you see that is big started small. I was reading the documentary on Northwest. Northwest started with supplying diesel in gallons. It's Northwest here. From gallon to those barrels, what we call drums. And today, look at Northwest, billions. Build your reputation. Taking small jobs seriously helps in building a solid reputation in your field, establishing trust and credibility. When I take on a job myself, yes, I know that I want to make profit, but what I teach and tell everybody, that the first mindset in any business is not profit. It's not how much you make. The first mindset in a business is sustainability before profit. Because if you are not there, they both say early chooser. That's you will chop now. After chopping, you lock that road. You close the door, you won't go back there again. So any job I get, there's this spirit of obsession that involves me. I want to finish it one well. I want to make a statement. Two, I want to deliver on set target, set date. If there's a date on that job, I want to deliver it on that job. So take small jobs, pay attention to every detail. Because the three things that can make any job can derail is budget, is scope. If budget is affected, when anything happens, you touch the money, or anything happens and you change the scope of the job, it can affect the time of delivery. Do you get? And most clients who will give you jobs, for those of us who are into private sector jobs, clients are very particular about their timing. If they give you a date, they don't joke with it. Now, what for you is just your project, for them is a program. Project are the small details. Now projects make up programs. The programs make up their portfolios. So your project might be a tiny detail in their own program. And these things have dependencies. Maybe what you are doing needs to be completed before someone else is doing can start. So they don't joke with timeline, adhere to timeline. So start small, take small jobs, take the job seriously, and build yourself. Every good job that is completed successfully will get you another job. I don't know how long, but I will tell you for free, it is true. Any job that you take on and you do it successfully will bring you another job. Even the small assignment that pastor gives to us. If you've been doing things for pastor, you notice that the ones that he calls back to give job again are the ones who do well. If he gives you a job and he struggles with you, there'll be a second chance, but there might not be a third chance. It applies to everything that we do. Consistent and professionalism. Success stems from maintaining consistency. What makes you successful is that you stay at it. You stay at it. You stay at it. You keep doing it. And as you're doing it, you're getting it right. As you're doing it, you're becoming good. Something pastor says. Pastor says you do something 21 times. That's what he said. 10,000 hours. And you become a master in that thing. There's where you get to, and you become a master. By training, I am not an engineer, but I can sit down with them and even argue structures. Can sit down with them and argue it. I don't know what they know, but I know the principles of what they know now because I've done it over and over. So they always yabbing me, where's your current? I don't have current now. They always yabbing me, but because I've stayed at it. So anything that you do consistently, you become a master at it. Now, see why it's necessary to be consistent. Sometimes when you go to bid for these jobs, and we know that this bidding we're talking about, it's not every time that they bid an official, like government bid, you go and sit down. There are times when you've written proposals to private individuals. There are times you've submitted that with your profile. They've invited you to come and defend it. At that point when you were defending it, you were bidding. Don't forget say that bidding is offering what you can do. At that point, you were bidding. Now, the person will be listening to you. When the person listens to you, the person knows what you can do. They know what they are looking for. If I want someone to help me re-roof this house now, and I call somebody comes to me and proposes I can roof the house. House is leaking, or I want to change the shape, and I invite you. I won't be there alone. I might get somebody who knows about roofing to be with me when you come. So when you come, you'll be saying things that people have not said to him, things that are practical. He listens to you, and then when you see with somebody who knows something, you know this person knows this thing. Do you understand? Person knows this thing. We're talking about building, and my neighbor came to me and he said, that I won't do anything again until you do. After you do, I will do. How do you know when to do this? Simple net in the window. And I said, no, now these things have dependencies. If you put nets in the house, by the time they are done with plastering and dressing, and it will smell the whole place now. Person goes to go and buy tile, And luckily, I walked in. I said, what are you doing? How can you do tile? You've not done your POP ceiling yet. When you're done, you now climb, and by the time you're done, and he was like, anything you're doing, I'll be doing it. This applies to everything in business. When you're talking to your prospective client, they are listening to you and how you're putting what you're saying. They know the person who knows what he's talking about. Now, when you start small, you build strong foundation, because now you've mastered the art of delivering quality in every task, and this helps to establish your foundation. When you have established a strong foundation, then you're positioned for long-term success. Because that big deal, that bang will not just come like that. It won't just come. It takes it. Some people get lucky, shall. Some people just get lucky. I agree. Those of them we are not there. Those of them who have maybe family inheritance, family contact, but some of us here we don't have. There's no support system. The support system we have is this work that we do with this work working with God. That's the support system that we have, and Him himself, God himself, the first commandment that God ever gave to us is to walk in the Garden of Eden. When he planted Adam and Eve, he said, tend to it, walk. So that's all that we do. So this walking carefully would build a strong foundation for long-term success. And efforts and consistency accumulated over time, they lead to this long-term success. And when you are successful, it leads also to recognition in your field. There's nothing that gives me joy standing here now that there are one or two things right now that I am the only person in the entire south of Nigeria who knows how to do it. There are some things I do in medical space. Quite people I'm working with, I've learned so many things because I stayed at it. So today I can now apply it somewhere else. I was at the psychiatric Calabar on Friday for another bidding process, and then we got talking. We got talking, and something came up. They are doing at that school of marine thing in Oron. How nighttime school here. I started talking in Oron. And everything I was saying there were things I have learned over time with James here. I don't know where it's taking us to, but they were asked that we keep the talk open, so we keep talking. All right. So we now talk about professional presentation and branding. You cannot make successfully make an offer and you are considered if you don't make a good impression. So your presentation is very crucial for making a positive first impression on your clients and any stakeholder that you will come across. Whatever it is that you do, you're doing makeup, you're doing content creation, you're doing what other business do we have here? Internet marketing, you're doing those customer service jobs that we take on. When you meet your client needs to have an impression. That impression is, I have met a good partner to do this thing. Not only should you be presenting something that is nice to the person, be offering a partnership. Person is seeing that this thing we can work together. This person is giving room for me and him to work together. Because there's some services you cannot deliver without the input of the owner of the project. Abi? So they need to see you doing it. I know somebody wanted to make a bed, and I helped him contact somebody, and he gave money for the bed, sent a picture. And somehow the carpenter making the bed, will not let him see the bed that he's making until the bed is ready. The bed came out yesterday. I saw the bed. The bed is somewhere here on the ground like this. And they paid 300,000 for the bed. So they called me because I made the referral. I went and saw the bed. So I told the guy, I said, let me talk to you for a moment. I took him outside. I said, how will you give this guy money and you're not going to go and check what they were doing for you? He said, that the person was always busy when he said, don't worry, I know what you want. I said, no, I can't give you money and go and sleep because you know what I want. Now, him himself it was a big error on his part. I don't know why he did that. But think of it. Will you give anyone your money to make bed for you and you don't go and check? Would you? You will not. So the client needs somebody. So I come to you. You want to make bed. I come to you I show you pictures of bed I've made in the past. I've made in the past. I tell you I can do this, I can do that. See how the bed is. This bed, you can pull the front. The front is a drawer to put your duvet. You can pull the left side where you can put your bedsheet and the curtains and blah, blah, blah. I tell you, but don't worry that when I'm done, I'll do a sketch. I'll do a sketch for you tomorrow. So come by 10 o'clock. Let's look at the sketch together. And by 10, you come, look at the sketch together. I tell you, okay, by Tuesday, I'll get out the framework ready. So you come, you look at, there are things I'll say to you, and you already seen the bed. You're seeing the inputs in the bed that they are making. Your money will leave your pockets. So when you're making this presentation, it has to be done in a way that the client is seeing himself working with you. For those of us that will make presentations that will come in paper forms, or soft copies, also make sure that your visuals are you have visually appealing materials to capture the attention and also convey the message more effectively. This will enhance engagement. Before now, people used to use diagrams. The days of diagrams are almost not is fading away. They want good visuals, good. They are seeing it. That's what these 3Ds have come to do right now. So you look, and 3Ds can deceive you. You see 3D and you go to bed, you cannot sleep. You're seeing that thing. You're seeing that thing already. So make these visuals very appealing. And any source you go to go and bring them, make sure you don't go to the internet and just get anything you see. Spend time to look for images that you need to need time to get. So the person, because when you're gone, most of us now, once talking to us, we've gone to search engine, to cutting your saying. And then once you put it there, and everything that you were saying pops up, it becomes, you're just ordinary. But when they go through it and look and look and look, it's not there. That your own is coming from somewhere. Visuals, very important. Make sure your branding also is consistent. Consistent branding. This slide I'm working on, my son was asking me, was this Monachi asking me, how do I know how to do this? It's so beautiful. So I told him, I said, PowerPoint now comes with those aids for you as you're building. There's an inbuilt co-pilot to function with you as you're building. He's suggesting designs for you. So it's not me that drew them. All I did was I clicked on the design that I wanted, and I picked a team that I wanted. I stayed with that team to the end. Be consistent with your brands, because your branding and your brand consistency, one, it speaks a lot on you yourself. How is working here, and two, it also speaks a lot about the brand that you're offering. Think about it like this. I don't know any of you who likes eating in crunches or apples. Anybody here likes apples or crunches or all those fast food? Did you guys meet Mr. Biggs? Huh? I used to eat Mr. Biggs a lot, me. Yeah? I used to like it. But I found out why I love Mr. Biggs when Mr. Biggs now, they didn't fade out too. What's that word? They franchised to different people. What they did. UAC went out. So that's when I found out what was the secret of Mr. Biggs. The secret of Mr. Biggs was recipe. If you eat Mr. Biggs in Calabar, you go to Lagos, you go to Enugu, you go to Benin, go to Port Harcourt, you eat Mr. Biggs, you're eating the same Mr. Biggs, the same taste. Nothing is different. That recipe was the catcher. That's what they will catch you and keep. That is what branding also does. Does it make sense? That's what it does. So finally, we'll talk about strategic partnership and alliances. Pastor Yake on Sunday asked about bidding bidding for jobs, and then should I bid first before the funding, or funding before bid? And then we talked about the JVs. Remember, these partnerships, one, they help for growth opportunities. They can unlock new growth opportunities that may not be available independently. There are certain things that you might not be able to do on your own, except you have the right funding or the right partnership. They will teach you how to go about it. They also help in resource leveraging. Though collaborating with other companies allows businesses to leverage resources and expertise for mutual benefit. I've done that a lot. A lot. I just told you about the DPR thing that I talked about. If you meet me privately, I'll tell you the background to what I am doing, because I don't have a DPR myself. But it's my signature right now that will unlock that opportunity. Is we must learn the strength of strategic partnership. It helps us to grow, helps us to have access to resource. Resource is not money alone. Resource in the business world is money, people, and material. That's not what you say. Resource is not just money. Resource might be people, competencies, might be materials you need for what you want to do. There are certain things that you need to do with HDF, HDF boards, and the HDF boards that you'll find in Calabar, you'll find in Lagos, sorry, and Onitsha, you won't find it in Calabar. There's something we just did with UCTH, the boardroom. The HDF we use there is mahogany. That's what we use. You can't find mahogany in these parts. So by the time we made our presentation and gave our quote, and people came there and said it was too high, they would do this. And they simply said, okay, let us see your samples. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. They can't get the samples. They'll still come back they'll find the one, get one who knows me, because civil servants, wicked people, they'll come and become paddy you and be asking you how you got this sample. They don't know that I'm a fox in civil service, how to deal with them. And I'll tell you, no, it's not in the market. The truth is this: the truth that is actually not in the open market. It's strategic partnership, that helps you to assess such details, such things. They cannot find it. So I've given you a name. The truth is that you probably might not see any HDF on it called mahogany. That's my name. That's my unique selling point. I named it mahogany. So you won't find it, because I know you go to the internet to go and find mahogany. Do you understand? Now, how did I even learn this? It was my partner who told me, you will name these things. See how to name them. When you're presenting, don't call names. Call codes. CPF 42, CPF 43. Meanwhile, you have another paper where you know what CPF 42 is. This is how you will grow. This is how they all grow. And this is also how they have industry acronyms. So when we are talking, myself and Star and MLGK working together, so when I say CPL2, you are lost. They know what I'm talking about. You are lost. And the person you're dealing with, who have come to meet, person is looking at these people talking. These are professionals. This is the place to be. They know what they're talking about. It helps us grow. You also know, by the time you work with this partnership, and if you're honest to them, leave Nigerian team, we are Christians, you look like you're stupid. One of the biggest weapon in business, be transparent, be honest. Be honest. I tell my clients how much this, especially those things that I know are easy to know the price. Do you get? I tell you how much it is. I always put it actual. I give it to you. When I'm done, I'll now add markup. Markup, I'll tell you that my best practice is 30%. I won't put figure. 30%. And then he tells me, no, Emeka is big now. Why not do it 25 or do it 20 or do it 15? Depends on the volume that we're talking about. Do you get? The person goes everywhere to go and check those prices. The person knows that your price is your price. You've not gone to. When you meet such partnership and over time, they come to trust you because they have a way of testing you. They will test you. They've come to realize that this guy, when he says B, it is B. When he says A, it is A. Someday you stay on your own and something good will come in your region and they will call you up. There's something we're working on and you're in it. You can never tell what. Basically, this is how you grow. And this is also very important in bidding for contracts, bidding for jobs. We've talked about how it helps us grow. We've talked about resources, and we've talked about the competitive advantage that comes with you combining strengths. Okay, we don't have time again, so let's just take questions and then we shut down. What we have learned holistically in this thing is one, we've understand have a comprehensive understanding of the Nigerian business environment and how crucial it is for successful business navigation and strategy. We've also learned on how to identify windows that helps us to position our business for success and growth. Hello, let's take questions now. Was I too fast today? Okay, no question. Okay, Chinaya,
Okay. Thank you, sir, for
you're welcome.
this was a very good question. So my question now is what um place of there are some people like there was a man that I interned under. He works with all these top he's a brand strategist, right? So he works with all these top companies. He recently just got a job for Guinness in the UK, right? And I was talking to him and I was asking him, okay, how do you get your jobs if you're not building a brand online, if you're not being so visible? Because there are people who get these top jobs, there are people who get big jobs, and they are not talking about their work, they are not posting about it, they are not making noise, they are not even going out to look for the work. They just somehow it just happens to find them. How do you get to that position if you're somebody that doesn't want to, like, if you're not so out there, like you don't want to talk too much online or things like that?
Okay. What do I say? Okay. You see, there are some things that I know that that you do effortlessly that me I cannot do. You get? There are things that me also I do effortlessly that even wows me myself the way I do them. Now, one of the things I know that you do very, very well is that your social content is very good. Value is good. Anyone who tells you that I just sit down and this job comes to me, I don't do anything, it's not true. It's a lie. They are doing something. And let me tell you something again that they do that looks very quiet, but is louder than any print media or social media campaign you can do. It's called networking. Networking. Most people who go to big churches, I'm sorry, sir, they are not after Christ, too. business because the church is a very fertile network environment. You know, the things that you do also, every business, they have, will I call it a network or a platform, or they always have places where you find them. Even we have WhatsApp platforms, we have Facebook platforms, where we all are, where you have any emergency, you don't know how to, you got to go there and drop it. Someone who has that experience tells you, see what I did, my own time. Get those places. I was talking to Pastor Star when I mentioned the Chamber of Commerce. And I said there's a pool of opportunities and windows and networks available there. So all it requires of you is every program that they have, you go there and put your banner. Put your banner in that program. These people know you. You are in their platforms. You're daily posting your flyers there. You're participating. People are asking you what do you do? Somebody will try you out. The moment you deliver successfully, because there are different levels to our engagements. Do you get? There are persons outside there who don't need any form of advertisement. They don't even have space to take on new jobs. There are referrals going on. From here is going, there's nothing as potent and strong as word of the mouth referral. I know somebody. I just know somebody. That's it. At UCTH right now, if you go in there, that's their entrance. It's called the Granite Hall. It's looking nice. No, it's not me, but I'm consulting behind. Something as minute as a spray painter to pre metal chair. And they called me. I don't know anybody who does that thing. But all I said was, I know someone. And meanwhile, they talked about it. And the guy himself mentioned me. I heard he said, I know just the right man for this. And then he called me. I don't know anybody. I said, I know somebody. And then he hung up. I called Uncle Tattoo because he's an artist. He now give us somebody. So that's how. I don't know if this has answered you at all. You're sure? Okay. Yes, sir.
Hallelujah. My background is varied. My marketing experience tells me that every time, in every community, people congregate around their jobs and businesses. And most times, the people who get referrals are people, first of all, you must be very proficient in your job. You know the scripture that says, seest thou a man diligent in his business, he shall not stand before men. Before you can enter a Sorok, for instance, to do anything at Sorok, you would have dealt with somebody behind the scene who now said, I know the person who can do this. And the only time he can refer you is because he has seen the quality of work that you have done, which is what he mentioned in his presentation. Consistency. Coca-Cola is Coca-Cola because it's the same taste across Nigeria. It's the same taste across the globe. Every time you pick a bottle of Coke, is that consistency that people look for. So those referrals are referrals that come as a result of consistency in performance, consistency in delivery, consistency in quality. Once you can do that, the word of, they call it grapevine. The grapevine will begin to carry. Have you met this guy? I met this guy. And it may just be a casual discussion. I've had to make referrals many times for people who may not even expect that their names will come up in certain places. And I say, I know somebody who can do this thing. And I call the person because I saw them do their work. What I'm simply saying is, do you want big time referrals? Be diligent in small matters. Just every opportunity you have, give it your best shot. Leave the rest. It can't fail.
Okay. But Pastor Star was up. And then you last.
Try. So thank you very much, sir. Pastor has basically said everything. Even in our locality, there are people you won't stop making your hair with, because not necessarily because they have the best of outlook of salons, but because of the excellency in their job. Right? There are people that will never stand a chance of social media, even in your
Very true.
locality. There are people that will never know what it means to press, to work with a PR team. There are people that will never ever pass Facebook, but you can't do without. If you see the people going to them, trusting and banking on them because of efficiency. Now, I have never posted, I run a cleaning agency. I have never posted my job on cleaning. It has just been food and makeup and every other thing that I do. And then someone just calls a job, and there are big jobs, and the other person tells another person. So another thing is being comfortable in excellence, like making sure that there is nothing. There are people that pay attention to details that you wouldn't even pay attention to. Something that you think you would overlook. That another person, like if this girl was this attentive to these little details, then I know someone that is as attentive to details like me. So most times it's not even about holding big jobs, as even the little one that's so you think you could look past, that another person cannot look past. And that's like the biggest PR thing that you can go. Even you can do flyer, pay people to press in for you, and you'll be there for months and you'll be frustrated. Meanwhile, it would have been you paying attention to details and your job being efficient. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Last question.
Thank you, sir, for your teaching.
You're welcome.
I want to say something concerning Shino here.
Okay.
But I want to use myself as example. I have never posted what I do. Often people know that I work in a company, but I do other jobs. So sometimes I have people that do these jobs. Then referral I will just be like this. They will just send my number to someone. Call. This guy know who will do this. Even I I discipline myself to make sure I do the right thing. Like the other time you teach about when a contractor will ask the the client, do you have the capacity to deliver this job?
Yeah.
I discipline myself. I will ask, do you have the capacity to deliver this job? This is what it takes to do this job. And I must give you the quality. If your money is not up to that, say no. I'll wait when your money is intact. Then we'll do the right thing. So sometimes, based on what you do and the discipline you discipline yourself to make sure you do the right thing, you follow up the right principle, the connection will come. I've been here, my contact going around. They call me. Okay, they like, I do plastering. I will just arrange people from the village. Come. They give me a big house to plaster. Come, let's do it. We must use our material. We use the range. If my wall is not straight from end to end, you are not done. You must do it completely. So that is it. That is this discipline in handling a job or referral. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, that was not a question. Let me just quickly say to you. I didn't even know you do plastering. No. Thank God I know now. Thank God I know now. You see, when a client says to you, do you have the capacity? You know, sometimes they are saying so many things. Do you have capacity can mean, do you have the technical know-how? It can mean, do you have the funding? It can mean, do you have the enough hands to get? Now, you also, because you're a contractor, it's important that you also know your clients, size your clients. You know, so even when the money is paying you, you will make profits. It's not every time that you will let go of that job. There are clients that you will meet, and you know that this job, I have to do it. Whether I make money or not, I have to do this job. So it's not, don't look at, I told you that in business, don't look at profit first. Look at sustainability. What keeps me in this business? There are clients that if they make one referral for you, you have left where you are somewhere else. That's one. Two, if you want to grow in business also at this level that we are all eyeing, both me and you, don't collect a job and send people there and you're not there. Are you there? In project, we call it assurance management. You have to be there, you yourself, because especially in plastering, that we are doing those range measured plastering. The client wants a 6, 7, 8 millimeter range. If you are there, they will make sure the range is in place. If you step out, 100% of the artisans that we have, once you step out, they will take the range out and do nonsense. And the reason why they want range plastering is because of what they want to do after it. So the moment that wall has any form of anticline or undulation on that wall, do you get? Tomorrow is a problem to fix. Let me close like this. There's one project in Kano that I missed by the whiskers. Real Assurance Hospital. It's owned by Aisha Buhari. I missed it because the head of the department said I didn't tell him that I wanted to go to Kano. Give to somebody else. The MRI project, the MRI equipment, if the floor is not calibrated flat, if he has 0.1 millimeter undulation, he will give a wrong reading. Those equipment are sold 1.6 billion naira. It's not what you joke with. The person they gave the job to is in the West. So he sent his boys, who are also very, very good. He's been working with them to Kano to come do that floor. He didn't go with them. They went to Kano. And the boys, they don't understand this back end about the equipment. So they got what we call self-levelers. They are compounds that when you pour on the floor and spread it, it will self-level itself. It gives you a 4 millimeter output level. That's what it gives to you. But you see, it begins to do its foundation on the initial level that you give to it. Yes. So if what was under was wrong, what gives to you is wrong. Now, if the people who install the equipment are Egyptians. They don't speak English. Each night they spent in Nigeria, they paid them $7,000. They were in Nigeria when they found out that the floor was the problem. Do you think that man will come back to work for the company again? He's gone forever. So why I said that if you have contract where you post your people to go and work, ensure that you are there on yourself to monitor that work. Put modalities on ground to come and check that what you want to be done is done. And that's how you grow. This brings me back to the end of my 4-week session. Okay, one last question.
Used to sell machineries like drilling machine, cutting machine, all those stuff. So we have people that come from companies to buy stuff from him. So there was one particular man that came, the same company, like it's the same project they're working for in Port Harcourt. So first person came, he collected the prices of tools they need to buy because they just came for this like to know the prices of what they want to get. So this man now he came, he's almost like the price he put, like Actually, if this is like 35,000, we'll put there 45,000 in the list. So there was one other woman that came. Is a lady. She came also the same company. So the only thing she was doing was just like adding like 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira. You understand? So the man got the job from the company. I was asking myself, why did he get the job when his own it was that like, just like adding like 10,000 naira more higher than the girl's own by far. So I was just asking myself, why did he get the job, not the lady?
The girl's price was lower. So you were now thinking, why did she get it? Uh, the guy was more expensive. Two things happened. Two things happened. One, Nigeria happened. We are talked from the very beginning, understanding environment. So maybe even the awarding people, the procurement officer, people, they have share in it. If don't carry everybody along, that's what happened. Two, we also in this teaching when we were talking about building, no, about this bidding for jobs also. We talked about pricing. That even pricing also demonstrates your understanding of the scope. Do you understand? Let me give you an instance. I'm going to supply water pump. Water pump. The best water pump in the market is Astra. Let's say Astra is 1 horsepower, is so 250,000 naira. Huh? The other cheap product in the market, there's China Astra that is sold 147,000 naira. So this person that is more expensive, it's possible he had done due diligence. He knows these prices. He knows that the people who are asking him to go and buy equipment, they also have a list of those prices too. So when you bring 180,000 naira for Astra, and I bring 250,000 for Astra, they know that 180 will not buy original Astra. The 240 buy original Astra. So they won't give it to 180. They'll give it to 240. Now, whether or not the person buys the original or not, is another thing. Does it make sense now? So there was no magic. Thank you, sir.